Last month, the Supreme Court upheld the funding structure of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, created by Congress in the Dodd-Frank Act. My Democratic colleagues quickly called it a victory. Mr. Chopra, you say the Bureau will now be, quote, firing on all cylinders, end quote. Unfortunately for my friends across the aisle, I'm not sure they fully understand what the court's ruling means. And this may not be the one that they think it is. The opinion stated, Congress has the power to determine or create novel funding mechanisms for federal agencies, reaffirming Congress's power of the purse. I think that's a good thing. This also solidifies that Congress has the power to change a funding stream. Republicans have a legislative solution to make the Bureau more transparent and accountable to the American people. This is something we should all be in favor of. So I encourage my Democratic colleagues to hold off on their victory lap. Instead, they should work with Republicans to put the CFPB on the appropriation cycle and enact common sense reforms to rein in the agency. I can guarantee you, if the political shoe is on the other foot in the future, you'll wish you'd worked with us now. I think stability here would be a welcome and good thing. We're already seeing the harm a radicalized CFPB can inflict. Director Chopra, under your leadership, this so-called independent agency has become, in my view, an arm of President Biden's political operation. Data, facts, economics, and sound analysis take a backseat to politically favorable talking points. Even the Washington Post has called the numbers, quote, fuzzy, surrounding how much consumers would actually save in so-called junk fees if they were cut. You're taking your eye off the ball on consumer financial protection and are instead chasing a shiny political object in an election year. And we see how this ends. It's never a good outcome for our financial system or the American people. While shirking your responsibility to consumer protection, you've also painted entire swaths of the financial services sector as bad actors. I want to remind you, Director Chopra, these are not all nameless, faceless institutions. They are made up of hardworking employees, many of whom are our neighbors and members of the communities we represent. The Biden administration's inflammatory rhetoric does nothing to root out actual fraudsters and bad actors, but it does sow distrust and fear among the very people who rely on the services provided by these financial institutions. Speaking of bad actors, yesterday the committee held a hearing to better understand the toxic workplace culture at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the failed leadership of Chairman Gruenberg. Director Chopra, you're a member of the FDIC Board of Directors. You also played a role in forcing out Mr. Gruenberg's predecessor, who, by all accounts, was working to address the abusive behavior within the FDIC and trying to address and help employees. It's also alarming that you've not directly commented on Chairman Gruenberg's mistreatment of his staff and the failure to address the misconduct at all levels of the agency. It's safe to assume that if this were a private sector financial institution, you would have quickly called for the removal of its leadership. Instead, we see partisanship on full display once again. I urge you to stop putting politics ahead of people and work with and help improve the financial services marketplace.